can stretch out his hand from heaven and slap you for this nonsense that you're saying. I am now a child of royalty, and you think I will be living this type of life? I said to someone the other day, can stretch out his hand from heaven and slap you for this nonsense that you're saying. You are calling yourself a child of God and you are living this type of life. And you are claiming that God hates divorce. Those people are worshiping Satan. It is not the same God that we're talking about. What are the things that must be there? Companionship, warm companionship. Sex. Where are those things when you are living that life and waiting?
Our conversation tonight is this. I am insisting that there are people who were in toxic relationships and who chose not to walk away, and they worked for them. We cannot discountenance their experience. Is that point clear?
Yes.
We cannot discountenance the experiences.
Yes.
All we can say is, if it is not what you, your own specific case should be looked into more closely. But you cannot stand on any person's specific case. If a lot of young men look at what is happening in several marriages, nobody will marry anymore.
But that is what we are having now. That's what we're having now.
But that's what I'm saying, that a lot of young women, in spite of the change in so many homes, young men and young women, in fact, they don't feel fulfilled if they're not married. In spite of the level of failure, in America, marriages are failing to up to 60%, not even 50.
Okay.
60 fails. And the number of people that are lined up to marry is more than those who are married.
Bishop, I don't know where. Okay, maybe
it's
I would
statistics
hope so.
now.
No, this is
statistics.
What you are saying is what I would hope. However, what I am seeing and hearing tells a different story. But what you are saying is what I would hope, because I said to someone even recently, do you know the kind of chaos that has been prevented by us having marriage as an institution? And do you know what it will look like when we don't have marriage? Are we ready to actually deal with the consequences? I had this conversation over the weekend, because this is what is popular now. And anyway, I was going to say that when I realized that I couldn't rely on, I didn't know which adults, what I would meet. This same Bible that people use to teach them things that make them live a life of misery. When I realized that I wasn't sure, because my mother and father were not going with me to all those places I was, right? When I realized that I could be at the mercy of anything at any time, it is that Bible. Do you know who I made my ever-present parents? God.
Uh-huh.
God is who I made my ever-present parent, because my parents were not always with me in those places. And so I was taking my strength from the Bible. It is this same thing that people are reading and using it to see where they should be living a life of misery. And it is heartbreaking for me. I'm like, how do you get this type of interpretation from this thing that you're seeing? Because, for instance, you say that I say that a child of God should not even be in a painful relationship. It doesn't even make sense to me at all. Because if you say that you actually are a child of an entity that you claim to be almighty, as an earthly parent, there's no way that I will watch my own child offspring and I'll be okay with it, give them any kind of advice that will make them feel it's okay to stay. And I'm not even now talking about my own children. I am now a child of royalty, and you think I will be living this type of life? There's no basis. It doesn't even derive strength from the Bible. I said to someone the other day, God can stretch out his hand from heaven and slap you for this nonsense that you're saying. You are calling yourself a child of God and you are living this type of life. And you are claiming that God hates divorce. Those people are worshiping Satan. It is not the same God that we're talking about. The same Bible tells you, give attention to my words, right? And it says that if I should be for you, who will be against you? There are just so many things there. And it says two cannot work together except they agree. It says do not be unequally yoked. Why do we ignore all those things? Where is the sense coming from? Two cannot work together except they agree. Let your yes be your yes and let your no be your no. How do we throw all those things away to fixated on one line that leads to a life of misery? In that life they're living, where is people get into relationships. What are the things that must be there? Companionship, warm companionship, sex, friendship, living a life together, creating memories and journeys. Where are those things when you are living that life and waiting in 10, 15 years? What it promotes is people who find alternatives. So now they have a second life because they must have sex from somewhere. It is like food, air, and water. So that's what they're doing. What they're doing is that they find other people. Somebody told me to create a platform because I am good with some legal things. Create where married people can come and be meeting each other. Since they cannot have it in their own mind, create it. Who's or will patronize you? Not lying to you. This is what people are being led to. Yeah. This is what people are being led to. They are being led to killing, murdering their spouses because it's like, I need to get away from this thing, but I cannot. So they will kill. People are killing for that. I don't know if I told you about it, Bishop. I know somebody who nearly died at the hands of his wife. She was actually killing him. People are doing it. I know someone who told me that before she can sleep with her husband, she has to take a walk, go to a garden so she can look at flowers. By the time he's there doing whatever he's doing, she's thinking about how this is psychosis, madness.
I know a lady who said after she gets intimate with her husband, she has to go to the shower and bathe and
scrub herself.
Whether not because he's smelling or anything, but she does not like him. Like she does not like him. And the same lady who told me this thing, months later, I saw on Facebook celebrating 20 years of marriage. This is a lady who will have her bath like death touched her. Not like he's smelling or anything, but she can't stand him. And then a few months after, on Facebook, she posts pictures, 20 years of marriage. Is that life?
Like one was telling me, how do I talk to my children? What do I tell them? But she's still there. But this was last year. Last year it was maybe 25 years. So now it's the 26th year. And she says, well, what do I say to them? The suggestion was that a person should stay. The topic we want to treat is people who believe that a person should stay through a painful relationship. That's it, right? Because they believe that God will handle it. That's it, right? Did I phrase it right?
Well, is that the topic of conversation tonight?
That's exactly what we